Everybody mad. Trump about to cut off 2 million people off of food stamps. Y'all rushing to the food stamp office trying to figure it out. But you wasn't trying to figure it out when you was out here living your best life, going to concerts, getting your outfits done, getting your nails done, getting your hair done. But you got a full refrigerator full of government groceries. You literally you don't know what to do now. Time has frozen. Food stamps has parked. The ignition don't work. So that means you need to clock the fuck out of Section 8 and clock the fuck in the 9 to 5.
Now we're cooking because I didn't hear any lies whatsoever. And he said it as bluntly and as boldly as he wanted to. So here's what I expect. I expect some consistency. And I expect that we're not going to pick and choose who we like to get upset with. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I don't really care either way. But I want to be curious if they're going to be coming to his comment section, tearing him up and calling him insensitive. Because, but regardless, I don't think he deserves that because I think he's actually talking the truth. He's speaking the truth and he's saying something that needs to be understood. And he's also saying a lot of the things that are really contradictions in a way. He mentioned the fact that you have all these benefits, but yet your hair is done all the time. Your nails are done all the time. I just did a review, and this lady, she had some fresh new nails, and she was on here begging. I think she was begging, and we zoomed in on her nails, and I'm just like, what are you really begging for? Are you really begging because you need help, or are you planning on going out this weekend? You already got your nails done, so you got to get your hair done too. Because when they're on these benefits, they can't work. Otherwise, they put their benefits at risk. So I think that we have to consider that. And I think just like him, I think we have to start calling it out. And also think, you know, we need to place accountability not on the person talking about it and really trying to empower you and motivate you to take your situation, take your circumstances into your own hands and not fully just give yourself away to the idea that you're going to be on these assistance forever, these government assistant programs forever. So let's watch another one.
And I don't find shit funny about that. There are a lot of people that really depend on that shit in order to feed their family. And I know a lot of people gonna say, oh, you need to get a hustle or oh, you need to work more. Baby, a lot of people are working. I don't understand why I think that people that get government assistance do not work a job. Baby, they require you to work a job. Y'all just be thinking people be sitting on their ass not doing nothing and just collecting assistance. No, these are working people. Not only that, some people can't work a lot of hours. Some people get issues going on, health issues to the point where they can't work that many hours. What about them people? But if 2020 didn't teach y'all nothing, that shit taught me to have a hustle outside of my hustle. Because at any given moment, they're able to take that shit away from you, come up with these crazy rules in order for you to work a job, and then they could just cut that shit off whenever they want to. And as y'all can see,
All right, we get the point because I mean she keeps on swearing. So yes, you're saying that it's not funny. No one's laughing, but at the same time, well, that last dude was laughing. But at the same time, you're mentioning all these minorities in this process, right? People on disability. Oh, there's people still working. No, they just made it to where you had to work. And not only that, the point is that we are saying the people who don't have disabilities, who don't truly need the assistance, that they're the ones taking advantage of the system. We're not we're not addressing the people who have disabilities, the people who might have been in the military and might have, had an injury that prevents them from working. We're not speaking about those people. We're speaking about the able-bodied people who have been taking advantage of the system, who don't actually need the system, and who are actually manufacturing the need for the system because they are living off of us for so long. It's almost like we're raising them And it's no different when you have a parent who is a helicopter parent to their child, and then when it's time for their child to grow up and actually fend for themselves, they're not well equipped to be able to handle um, life properly. And I think that we're enabling people when we don't actually hold them to a standard, when we don't actually start to put in some rules and regulations to say, okay, you're getting these benefits, but you're going to do something. You're not just going to lay in the bed all day because at that point, now you are becoming dependent on a system. And by you becoming dependent, now you've locked us in to say that we're going to have to pay for you for a lifetime, as well as those people that you're mentioning who actually need it with disabilities, et cetera, et cetera. You're not opening spots for people who need it who are on disability. So that's ultimately what we're truly trying to address.
We're going to be taking, I know you'll see
Like this happen.
mamas, they're taking our food stamps, okay? And I know you'll see a lot of things on here telling you to steal or saying how people are going to be taking and running people over and taking the groceries and all that other shit. Let me give you a better option because honestly, I think that's what they want us to do. They want us to fight over cans of beans because they don't think we have sense and resources. But we do. We're smart. We are not monkeys, okay? We are not primates. We are not cavemen. We know right from wrong. We have resources. We know what we can and we can't do. Talk to your farms. Figure out, we have the internet. Local farms, they're selling eggs a lot cheaper than a lot of grocery stores. Talk to the local people around you. Talk to the churches. A lot of churches will help you, put you on programs. There's other stuff out there other than WIC and food stamps. Start growing things, even if it's in buckets. You can grow stuff. You need to start becoming self-reliant now. And I know that's unfortunate, but it's also, it gives us a chance to step up and show them that we don't need them because we don't. It's hard, but we'll make it through. Also, lean on your neighbor. Now's the time to band together. Now is not the time to be separate and shut your door when your neighbor needs something. If they need a cup of sugar, help them. Barter. Let's bring that back. I have rice. You have corn. I need rice. You need corn. You got spice.
So I like to see more of this, right? She has a more balanced approach when it comes to this, but at the same time, she has a very fantastical approach when it comes to this, right? Um, it's it's more than what you truly have to do. Like I feel like we're just getting too complex, too many things. Lean on your neighbor, lean off yourself, and then initially she addressed the mamas, right? Sure, if you want to overcomplicate things to that extent, then do all these type of things, barter sugar and all that good stuff. But ultimately, first where we start is we don't put the self-inflicted wounds on ourselves to begin with. So I'm going to address the people who aren't yet in that situation so that we can first save them, right? Don't put self-inflicted wounds on yourself. Don't have a child with somebody who you're not in a solid foundational position with that person. And you feel, and not just feel, but you have some type of commitment that would ensure that they are invested to actually continue to stay with you and then every day show up for that person the same way you would show up for anything that doesn't necessarily owe you anything, right? Show up every day, don't get too comfortable. But ultimately, I heard her saying something where she's basically telling people to take responsibility for themselves and they have to go get it. And I love that. But then I also hear a lot of like dependency, right? But of course, number one, don't put self-inflicted wounds on yourself. And then number two, you have to take control of your situation. We have to use these smartphones, we have to use this AI, and we have to figure out what is going to be the best route for us. We have to look at the pieces on our individual boards and we have to strategize effectively and ultimately just make the common sense decision and truly just live below our means, right? We don't really talk about that, but how a lot of people end up in these situations or end up in situations where they're one emergency away from being in these situations is that they don't live below their means. They don't save. They don't have things set up to where they're retaining more than they're spending. And To me, that's the simplest approach. Just make sure that you're saving a little bit, putting something away for a rainy day in case an emergency does happen, as well as don't take on too much overhead. And children can also be overhead because this is a responsibility that now you've committed to and brought into your life, and that you're going to have to make sure that you can sustain over long durations of time as life's ups and downs also happen. So don't take on that type of responsibility if you cannot bear it on your shoulders alone. Yes, there are government programs to help you, and that's great. But as you see, times can shift, the environment can shift, and ultimately the laws can change. And that's what's happening now. And what this truly just reveals is that people are completely unprepared, and now things are just in disarray. So we'll leave it there. But y'all like the video. Also subscribe if you want to join Limitless Legion. Cash App's link below if you want to tip the channel and buy your boy iced coffee. And also feel free to join the Patreon as well, where I do post exclusive self-improvement content that's not on YouTube. But until then, catch you guys in the next video.